Welcome, welcome, welcome. In today's video, we'll be reviewing a Rough Rider. Part of their Highland series, very interesting little knife, terrible sheath that it comes with. I'm totally going to make a different sheath for this. It's one of those weird things where the belt loop is off at a side to what I think it should be there, and you got this that really does nothing. I'll show you here in just a moment why that does nothing. It does the job of keeping the blade out of the way, but this is a terrible sheath. I'm not going to blame you if you want to get a different sheath for this. And it is the micarta Skinner, my mini fish and trout, or bird and trout skinner, whatever you want to call it. It's gone through several different names from what I've seen. So it's a small Skinner knife with micarta handles. You can get them with bone and maybe a few others by now, but I have the micarta version. And I gotta say right now, I do not like Rough Rider micarta, because they gloss it over so much that you lose the grippiness of the micarta, and it's basically just like Celador that you have on Victorinox scales, which is not a bad thing, but when you hear micarta, you think a little bit softer, grippier texture here. So you eat that off to the side. This is the knife in question. This is a very small knife, comparing it to a Victorinox standard size 91mm Swiss Army knife that most people would see. It's about yay big. It's very small. But is it a good knife? I think yes. I can get full 4 fingers between the choils here. My little finger starts writing over a little bit, but the way my finger curves, it sits in there. But a nice 3-finger grip for a knife this small is not an issue at all. This came out of the box razor sharp, and it's still quite sharp after some testing. This is some floppy leather, but just right through the leather there. Let's get a piece of paper, see what that does. Some notebook paper I have. It has like one jagged spot in there, but as you saw from that, it had a nice long cut. It's kind of hit or miss, but it came out of the box sharp enough that it glided right through that, no issue, except for one little spot, and that was way up here at the tip, where you just had a little bit of a nick, but not hardly anything. Didn't even really mess up on cutting the paper, but it, it's not perfect. It's Rough Rider. It's $16. What do you expect? It's not a high-end knife. But for $16, you have this nice kind of frog gigger, skinny bowie knife blade here. We have red liners inside the micarta here. Very, very nice. It's a full tang build here, going all the way down. Very nice. And I love this knife. This is going to be either a little boot knife or down the pocket, pocket carry knife with a sheath. Like I said, I'm totally going to rebuild the sheath. That thing is hot trash. I mean, for $20, when I got this railroad spike bayonet, this is not a Rough Rider, but this is a knife in Smoky Mountain Knife Works catalog here. It came with a nice leather sheath. Like, companies show that it can do a decent leather sheath for a product, and it's just, if you haven't seen that bayonet, look around. This will either be the video before this one or after this one. Just keep an eye out. You'll see that one pop up. But this little nylon thing, it's so bulky, it's so fat, it's like, takes everything that is beautiful about this knife and makes it ugly with this sheath. Yes, it does the job of holding the knife, and that's why this thing does not matter. Like, you can pull the knife in, pull it out without that being an issue. Like, it's just, why is this even here? Because it's not doing anything to keep the knife in. But the sheath aside, I personally really like this knife. It's about 7 inches long, maybe 8 inches. I'm not quite sure. I don't have my little measuring mat on hand at the moment. but I like how it's laid out. I like the nickel brass, whatever you call it, bolsters here. Very, very appealing. And not overly tacky with the Rough Rider logo here. Like, that is perfectly fine. A little bit of the 440 razor sharp steels tagged there. Model number and country that it's made in. Like, it, it's not overly tacky like this other knife that I'll be doing a review of. The Granddaddy Barlow. I mean, you got that Rough Rider there, you got the Rough Rider here, you got the Rough Rider here. Like, this is too much Rough Rider. I don't like that. Also, I'll get into something else. I don't like these being upside down. I know when it's closed, that's the show side, and you kind of want that up. But to me, if you're going to do that, have the other stuff lining up the other way, or just remove it. I don't like that. I'm picky. But for $16, I think this is a fantastic little knife. And I'm going to try to do a more condensed video of all my fixed blades down the road, because I'm getting a few, and I kind of want to just have like a catch you up on what all I have, what all do I not have from last time, and go through that. So this is a really, really nice little knife. Consider getting one if you haven't already. And reason why I suggest this one is I know it's not made in the USA like Case and all that, some of these others, but Case has that same knife as this, but it has like stacked leather for the handle, and it's $70. And if you're losing your knife and you don't want to cringe every time you lose $70 worth of mini pocket knife, consider getting a Rough Rider for $16. Same knife, same size, not same knife, but same ideas put into the knife, and pretty much the same overall form and function. And I think being scales rather than stacked leather like the other one is, this is going to be a lot stronger. And if you lose it, you've lost $16, not $70. So consider that. Thank you for watching this video. Hope it helps you build your EDC to your standards. I'm kind of rushing through these today, I'm sorry. But hope it helps you build your EDC to your standards. And until the next time, a farewell, carry well, and a bye-bye.